you being the panelist to help greet everybody. And okay, I just want to make sure I'm recording. Perfect. All right. Welcome everybody to a BitCamp training. We have some really informative information to share today. So please, if you can, take some notes and follow along here with me. And then I want to stop at each slide, if I may, just to see if there's any questions, because it's really important that you get this information, not only for yourself, that you'll be able to teach it and show the new members that are going to be joining, because there's been some changes with respect to a login. So let me kind of give you the heads up as to what actually happened that we're getting through the grapevine. There was a concentrated effort by many individuals to hack Gladiacoin to bypass the CAPTCHA system to get into Gladiacoin. And fortunately, we have some brilliant technicians behind the scene. They were able to see this attack, but it was pretty overwhelming. And so they pretty much shut down the ability for us to log in temporarily. And then you could see that it started to come back, and we had to use the two-step verification process, and that was for people that had already set that up. And so if you were brand new, you didn't have a chance to do that yet. And so they're still getting together to find out the best method which they could put up a login without the attack happening again. So what's interesting is that we really don't understand it, because there's really no assets of Gladiacoin other than the database. So when you think about it, it's not like they can get access to a checking account or Bitcoin like you would if they had an exchange, for example, because, I mean, everything goes into a blockchain wallet. So, you know, we have some theories as to what happened, but just know it was a pretty major attack. In spite of that, the company continued to send out the commissions and the daily trading bonus. I was confident that they would be able to bring everything back in play. I'm going to tell you, a lot of us on this call, we're what I would call firefighters, because, you know, we're putting out little fires here and left, just trying to give people a level of comfort that, hey, man, we're all, you know, keen to be in front of our computers and to talk. In fact, Mike was the one who called me and said, we're up. And I just about jumped out of my skin, because I've been checking like every 45 minutes. It was hard for me to sleep, just waiting for these guys to come back in. So at any rate, it's all good. The company learned and grew from it, obviously, and has taken a proactive role in ensuring that this program goes forward. And I've got all the confidence in the world that this is going to be a home run for all of us. And so let's get started, if I may. And let us go to now the procedures for the login. Most of the training today is going to be about the new way to log in. And I'm going to show you step by step. I've got a lot of screen shares and shots that I put together over the last couple of hours, and then I'm going to show you how to access some functions into the back office, and we'll pretty much wrap it up with that. I want to try to keep it to an hour today. Okay, so when you go to Gladiacoin now to log in, this is the screen that you're going to see, and so you're going to actually put in your username like you always would, and then you're going to enter in your password, and then you're going to log in. So I always like to have a little bit of fun there. So I'm not going to use my own information, obviously. So I'm going to use Satoshi Nakamoto as the username for this account, and then that's his password, 1 million Bitcoins. Okay, so now when you go to log in, here's what happens. If you have previously set up your two-step verification, that means that you logged in before the hack attack. It almost gave me a heart attack, the hack attack. Before the company was hacked, as far as on their servers, and you went into the back office under security and you already set up your two-step verification, here's what you're going to be presented with. You're going to get a screen that looks exactly like this. It's going to say log in with your token verification. And so all you would have to do is just simply enter in the token for the account that you've already set up under your Google Authenticator. That is going to be a 6-digit code, as you know. So if you've already set up your account, the only thing you do when you log in is you just have to turn on your Authenticator and get the 6-digit code for this particular account, okay? Now, on the other hand, if you did not set up the two-step verification, maybe you're brand new, maybe you just got started, maybe you've been in for a while and you didn't go back and do this, then this next sequence is especially for you, okay? So if you did not set up the two-step verification process, here's what's going to happen. You're going to put in your username and your password just like you did before, and this time it's going to recognize, based on your username and your password, that you did not turn on the two-step verification. So what they're going to do is they're going to send an email to the email address in which you registered the account. Now remember, you can have one email for multiple accounts. It doesn't matter. What does matter is the account itself. It doesn't matter what the email is, but at any rate, I blocked off the email here for the purpose of this illustration. And so what will happen is once you go to this screen, it's going to say immediately that we sent an email to such and such at .com with your token access, okay? And this particular code is only valid for 15 minutes. In fact, it happens very quickly. When I did this on a test account, I mean, literally by the time I opened up my email, there was the email from Gladiacoin with my code in it. And here's what the email will look like. 6 digits. Here's the email. This is a copy of the email that I got. And you can see your requested access token for Gladiacoin login. And they've got the username after login, which I have blocked out. And here was the time and the date. And then there's my token. There's my number, 682106. So all I have to do then is just enter that token into the box that you see there to log into the back office. And what happens immediately is you go directly to this page. Okay, now you are officially in the back office of Gladiacoin. And what they're wanting you to do first, before you even go through anything in the back office, is to enable the two-step verification. Now, there's one of two choices that you can do here. If you don't have the Google Authenticator yet, and you still just want to get access to the back office, what you can do is every time you log in and you haven't set up the two-step, the computer, the software is going to recognize that, and they're going to send you another email. So if you just want to do this by email for a while until you get the Authenticator, which is just an application, you can download that from the App Store if you have an iPhone, or Google Play if you have Android. And hold on, I just lost my train of thought. And you can download that application, and it's actually very, very simple to use. Okay, so if you decide that you want to go ahead and download that, this is what the Google Authenticator looks like. It's just an app that's there. And what it will do is that once you go through this and you add an account to the Authenticator, what you're going to see is the actual username of the account in which you've just enabled that two-step verification. So, for example, when we first logged in, the username was Satoshi Nakamoto, right? So if I did the two-step verification, what's going to come up besides that number, so I always know that that's the account that I need for this particular login, is it's going to show there, instead of gladiacoin.com, it's going to show Satoshi Nakamoto, okay? And so to add an entry, all you have to do from the application that is on your phone through the Authenticator is you've got two choices here. You can scan the barcode, which means you just hold the phone up to the computer screen, or you can manually enter the number that I'm about to show you, okay? Scan the barcode, manual entry. And here's what that looks like. Now this is a page directly out of the back office. As I went through this whole process, I did screenshots of everything so I can try to show you this, so when you come to the page, you're going to be able to recognize it. And the fact that I'm recording this, if you need to watch it a few times, then you'll be able to do that. You can pause it and try it out on your own. So I want to move along here though. But if you read the top, it says right there in blue, to use the two-step verification, you must have a specific app on your smartphone, such as Google Authenticator, okay? And make sure that you configure your smartphone to get the date, the time, and the time zone on the automatic setting. This is really important. And the reason for that is that these tokens change once every 30 seconds to 1 minute. Okay? So, I mean, you're looking at it, and when it starts to beat like a heart, you know it's getting ready to change. So you got to hurry up and type the thing in, or you just got to wait for the next code to pop up. So all you would do is you just hold the phone up when you want to scan, like I just showed you before. In this slide right here, you choose scan barcode, and then you just literally hold your phone up to that QR code that you see right there, and boom. I mean, it's automatic. It goes right into the phone, and you've successfully activated the two-step verification process. Now, if you don't know how to do the scan, which is very simple to do, you have another option, and if you look below that QR code, you see that that series of letters and numbers. Then you can manually enter that in, like you see right here, manual entry, and it will do exactly the same thing. And then at that point, once you scan that barcode or the QR code, the 6-digit number is going to come up immediately in the Google Authenticator, and then you would just enter that code where it's asking to right there where it says 6 digits, okay? And then you just click on Enable Two-Step, and that's it. So, I mean, the whole process only takes a couple of minutes, but, you know, take your time to just make sure that you're doing it right, and then you will receive this message if you're successful. And you can see there, two-step verification enabled, and from now on, every time you change your email, your password, or your Bitcoin wallet, you're going to be prompted for your personal 6-digit code, or they call it a token, okay? So, and then you see the bottom one, congratulations, the two-step verification is now active on your account. And that's basically the process. Mike, I want to pause here just for a second on the Q&A, just to see if there's any questions up to this point, or maybe if there's a slide I need to go back to.
I don't see any questions in the Q&A at all. Let me check the chat. Nothing yet. Everything, must understand everything clearly, which I did. It was awesome. Was it clear to you, or do you think I need to repeat a couple slides? Nope, it was very clear, very simple.
Okay, if there's anybody that would like me to go over any of the information, just please let me know, and I'd be happy to do that, okay?
Okay,
and
we got a few, we got some people now asking some questions.
Okay, before you go to that, this is what it's going to look like afterwards when you open up your authenticator. You're going to see different accounts there, and as you see, each account is listed, like you got WordPress there and Dropbox and what have you, and then I put in Satoshi Nakamoto. So you know that on your authenticator, you know exactly which account that this token applies to. Okay, so if you have 3 accounts, you're going to see Satoshi Nakamoto 1, you're going to see 2 and 3 all separate, the tokens. Okay, and all you got to do is when you go to log in again, you just simply put in the username, like it did here, Satoshi. I'll speed it up. I get a kick out of finding new ways to have some fun with this thing, okay? And so, you know, you log in, and then all you do is you just put in your token, and then you're going to be able to log in directly into your back office very quickly, okay? So once you get set up, it becomes very simple. Okay, Mike, I'm ready to answer some questions.
Okay, the first one is, are the steps the same for an iPad? And I don't know that.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I imagine whatever device, I'm just going to kind of think out loud here, and if there's some experts on the webinar, I'd really like your input. I'm assuming that it has to do more with the application of the authenticator than it does the piece of equipment that it's installed on. I mean, whether it be a tablet, a notebook, iPad, whatever, as long as that product can be installed, I think that you'd be able to use it. Does anybody else, can they share experience? We'll wait for some, we'll wait for that. Yeah, I mean, there's some guys up there that really know this, you know, software.
Yeah, Yetta just made a comment. She said the barcode did not work. She had to, or they had to scan, and the scan worked fine.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I mean, if the barcode didn't work, you got a backup decision there under manual entry. You see that? Mike, you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so when you go to add an entry into the authenticator, there's two ways to do it. Scan the barcode, which is the easiest way, but if for some reason you can't, then what you do is you manually enter in that number that you see that's under that barcode that begins with, I can't tell if that's an I3 or a 13, but I know it ends in D7, okay, just for an example.
Correct.
Okay, give me another question, Mike.
Okay, this is a simple one. Troy wants to know how he'll be able to get the recorded copy of this webinar we're doing now.
What I'm going to do is, once it's finished, if I don't have to do too much editing, which I hope I don't have to, I'm going to throw it up on the website right afterwards. So I'll have a special page up there for what I call archive trainings and webinars, and I'll stick it right up there so that the rest of your team can get access to it.
Awesome.
Go ahead, Mike.
Let's see. Fester. Hey, buddy. Let's see. No. Yetta said yes, it did. I'm gonna do. Okay, good. Oh, Yetta just said she did what you just said, Rick, and it did not work.
What didn't work?
Let's see.
Okay, well, I mean, we'll have somebody else try to figure it out. I mean, I just know the steps that are involved, and if it's not working on an iPad, then please use your smartphone.
Yeah, her question wasn't in regards to, it was what you were just talking about, I guess.
Okay. Let's go through some more questions here. They're piling up on us.
Oh, it was the manual way didn't work for her. What is the website you are posting to? That would be
bitcoinbillions.com.
Correct.
And the training information is password protected, and you'll have to get that from your sponsor. We really want you to be part of our team. That's why we're doing this. And so some of the information, I mean, the general presentation is open to everybody, and we're getting quite a few people coming on for that, which is great. I'm glad we can at least do the preliminary information for Gladiacoin, but the training stuff like this that we put together is for our group, so it's password protected. Okay, any questions up to this point on what we've covered on the login? I mean, ladies and gentlemen, this is really, really important that you get this down.
I'm looking here. Don't see anything.
All right, let me go on. Now, one of the things that comes up from time to time is what happens when the status bar in your back office hits 100%. So I took, for example, one of the plans that I have, that's Spartacus 7, and I couldn't wait for it to get up to like this 98% so I could actually do a training on this, because what you see there on the left, you see the maximum that it will pay. Spartacus 7 is 4 Bitcoin, so the maximum it's going to pay out is 8. I didn't say how many days it was going to take. I just said it's going to double. And this is the terminology that you really need to understand. It can take up to 90 days for your Bitcoin to double, but that's if you're strictly passive, which means that you're not referring anybody to the program, you're not participating or not qualified for the binary commissions. This is just strictly on the passive trading bonus daily. It would take 90 days. However, it does take into consideration the binary bonus. It takes that plus the daily trading bonus, because the objective is to double the Bitcoin. So once the contract has been fulfilled and it's paid out 8 Bitcoin, then that can happen in 1 day, 1 month, or 90 days. So when you're talking to somebody, just make sure that you say up to 90 days. Don't just use a flat 90 days, because there's a variable there, okay? So you can see right now with the total commissions and the trading bonus that on my account here, the current is 7.89. So it's at 98.73%. And so what I did is the next day, it went over 100%. And now let me tell you something. Even John Barksdale, my sponsor, who's a very, very bright guy, didn't understand what I'm about to share with you. And once you get this, I hope you're going to go, holy cow. All right. So this is going to be your holy cow moment. All right. So now I've hit 100%. I've got 24 hours in order to make a new purchase or renew my contract, or it's basically null and void. The company did what it said it would do. It turned my 4 Bitcoin into 8. Congratulations. Now I'm at 100%. My limit is reached. So I'm going to make a new purchase. I'm going to show you that here in just a second. But what I want you to read is what's below that. Important. You have just until the next system processing to make your new purchase. Now look, if this happened 5 minutes before the, the cutoff, I mean, I still got the next day. Okay, so I got like a full 24 hours. And as long as I don't make a purchase, which means if I walk away from Gladiacoin, all my earnings are blocked and my binary points will be processed daily with no earnings received. I'm like, yikes. I mean, tell me, is that the incentive to continue for another 90 days? But, hey, listen, they lived up to their agreement. So I look at this as a positive. Now, the next line is what John was just, he didn't grasp it at first. And I said, look at this, John, anytime that you renew, if you went over in Bitcoin, like remember, I was at 98%, right? Well, what happens if I hit like 110% because of the binary commissions or something that came in there? I'd be losing out on some serious coin. But the company has already taken this into consideration because look what they have highlighted in a black horizontal box. You have 0.970 and a bunch of numbers after that Bitcoin to receive that exceeded my doubling limit. Make your new purchase to receive this value. After the next system processing date, this value will be lost forever. Once your new purchase is processed within the time frame until the next system processing, this amount will be credited to your financial statement. Ladies and gentlemen, what this means is that a company that was just trying to find ways to make breakage or make additional money could have flushed any of that volume that exceeded the 100%. But not Gladiacoin. Because of the fact that I went over 100%, I had almost 1 Bitcoin that I got paid on just because I renewed my purchase. So I mean, when you look at that, that was 25% of my contract value when you think about it, because 1 Bitcoin is worth over $1,000, right? And what's the purchase price, Mike, for Spartacus 7? 4 Bitcoin. So it really only cost me 3 Bitcoin. So please let everybody know when you really sit down with somebody who wants to know the ins and outs of the program, make sure that you share with them that they are not losing anything on this compensation plan. It is so generous and fair that even when you renew, they're going to take the excess volume that you didn't get paid on because it would have exceeded 100% and it goes into your next payment. Is that huge, Mike, or is that huge?
That is huge.
You understood that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you think I made it clear to where everybody else understands that?
Well, I will find out in a second, but I believe so. If
Okay.
not, it will question me.
Please, I'm going to pause here just for a question or two to just make sure that people understand what I just said. So while we're waiting for some questions, this is how people are being able to max out 8 Bitcoin per day every day when you think about it. Because let's say that you're hitting 8 Bitcoin per day and you get up to 100%. Well, the remaining Bitcoin could be 4 Bitcoin, carries over to the next one. So you really only need 4 Bitcoin in the next 24 hours through your whole organization to max out again. I mean, this is just huge news, ladies and gentlemen, for your future, for your income. Okay, any questions, Mike?
We're ready to go. No questions.
Okay, when John got that, I mean, I was really happy that I could show him something and instead of him always showing me. So that was a big moment for me. Okay, at any rate, so here's how you make your payment. Remember, I had to pay for 4 Bitcoin. So if you're just looking at this training for the first time, it's so easy, ladies and gentlemen. And, you know, in the presentation, when I talk about having the blockchain app on your smartphone, and this is one of the biggest reasons why. When you go to pay for that 4 Bitcoin, I mean, you've got 2 options. I mean, you can copy that address, which is actually listed 3 different times. You've got it here under the wallet, oops, and then you got it here again, that's highlighted, and then you got it there at the bottom. So you can copy and paste that if you want, or you just simply open up your blockchain wallet that's on your smartphone, and then just hit send, and then all you got to do is, you know, just hit the scan. I mean, I can get that thing almost a foot away from my computer screen, and bloop, it's done. It's that quick. And you'll notice that in that transaction, all the information is included in that box, that QR code. It's got the amount of Bitcoin, who it was paid to, for what account. I mean, it is just a marvel of technology and simplicity is all I can tell you. And this is how you can actually pay for somebody else's site. You know, if they'll log in and just hold that up, then you can actually go ahead and scan that if you're maybe putting it, fulfilling it with Spartacus 1, for example, until they're waiting for their coin to arrive. This is one method that you can do that on. So this is how the payment is done, and it takes only just a few seconds. Okay, when you log into your back office, this is what you're going to see. If we start on the left, I'm going to open up each one of these here for you, and these are just screenshots, so this is not live. But you're going to see the dashboard, and to the left of the dashboard, you see network, you see financial, my account, security, and exit, okay? So if you were to click on network, for example, the first thing that on the drop-down menu is binary network. And under the binary network, you're going to be able to see your entire genealogy. It's got you at the top, and then it's got, you know, the people that are to the left and to the right. And if you click on the icon, it will bring up the username for that person and how much Bitcoin is in that organization. And you can also do it by search. If you know their username, you can actually type it in and do a search, and it'll pull up. And this is what I do when I'm actually searching to make sure that the people are in our organization that I'm giving out, you know, passwords and stuff to, is that I just do a quick search to see if they're in the group, and if they are, then I send them the password right away. The second thing that you see there is active referrals. If you want to know how many people you have actually enrolled that are active, and by active means that they have at least made a purchase of a package, then you're going to be able to see all your active referrals in that particular section. The pending referrals are the ones that did not pay yet. And I want to spend a second, if I may, on this, because this is a really important element on how to basically set up your network correctly. Remember, with Gladiacoin, it only takes seconds in order to enroll somebody, but it can take upwards of 10 minutes for the verification of the payment of Bitcoin to come through, because it has to go through the blockchain verification process, which has nothing to do with Gladiacoin. And so what I found a way to do, which makes it very simple, if you want to guarantee 100% that there's no mistake, and believe me, there's people made every kind of mistake that you can imagine on this, but this is almost a foolproof way. I say almost because there's going to be one person I know that doesn't do it right, and I'm going to get the blame for it. So I'm going to say almost foolproof. And that is, if you can just follow me here in your mind's eye. Let's say that you go to enroll somebody, and you go through the process, and you hit the enroll button. You make sure that your name as the sponsor appears there for obvious reasons. And so they're going to put in their first name, their last name, their email address, their phone name, their phone number, and they're going to put in their desired username. Okay, and then they're going to hit submit or make a purchase. And so you're going to decide on what package that you want to purchase at that time. So, you know, it might be Spartacus 1, might be Spartacus 7, whatever your decision is. Now, when it says pay with Bitcoin, you can click on that, but instead of paying for Bitcoin, you scroll down to the bottom of the page. So don't pay. If you scroll down to the bottom of the page, it'll say access back office. Now, I found this out by accident. I thought, well, this is interesting. I clicked on it, and guess what? It was the back office of the account that I just set up. And I went, oh, that's interesting. And then I went in, I logged into my account, and sure enough, there it was in pending referrals because it hadn't been paid yet. And I went, wow, this is great. So if you go into pending, it'll show the account that you just set up, and right there it will say default leg. And ladies and gentlemen, this is where you pick the leg, either to the left, to the right, or lower leg. I never use the lower leg, which indicates that you want the computer to decide what team it goes into based on what the volume of Bitcoin is. It'll go on the lower team volume. So I always either go left or I go right, okay? But by having all these accounts in pending, especially if I'm setting somebody up with 3 or 7 accounts, I can ensure that I got 3 on the left and 3 on the right. Not 4 on one side and 2 on the other. It can be done exactly, like I'm saying. Because no matter when the blockchain verifies the payment, Gladiacoin system knows without a doubt that whatever person is going to go left is going to go left at that time, okay? So what I learned to do then was to put everybody into the pending file, and then from the pending file, I can log into their individual accounts, and then I can actually fund them at that time and wait for it to populate in the genealogy. And then once it populates in the genealogy, then I go back to the next one and the next one. And so that's how we use the pending referrals that you see. The point statement is very simple. The point statement is just going to tell you how many points that you're getting paid on. So if you want to get an idea before you get paid, because it takes about 3 hours from the time they process before it actually ends up in your blockchain wallet. But once they go through the maintenance, the downtime, which is about 30 minutes daily, then you'll be able to actually log into your account, and you're going to be able to see your point statement and know exactly how much is going into your blockchain wallet. But it takes about 3 hours for that to happen. Okay, now if we go over to the right, no wait, Mike, I made a mistake. Let's go back to point statement. I apologize. I apologize. I said the wrong thing. The point statement is simply all the points that are in your organization. It's going to show you the username and the points that that particular person has. It's going to show what level they're at, whether it's Spartacus 1 or Spartacus 7, and whether it's an upgrade. And you'll see that. And it'll show everybody that has joined on your left team for that day and everybody that's joined on your right team. It's very valuable because it's all by date. You don't have to scroll down the genealogy to see the points that have come into your team. Now let's go over to financial. Sorry, Mike. Don't shoot the messenger. Under statement is what's going to show your income for that particular day. And so it'll show your binary points. It's going to show your daily trading bonus, and it's going to show the wallet in which those Bitcoin is going to be funded into. And you can see that immediately after the site goes live, after the 15 to 20 minute maintenance that they do every day at midnight Singapore time. Okay, then you've got withdrawals. Withdrawals is just simply going to show all the money that has been funded to your blockchain wallet. That's what withdrawals mean. It doesn't mean withdrawals into your bank account. It means that these are all the withdrawals that Gladiacoin has sent directly into your blockchain wallet. And the reason that this is important, ladies and gentlemen, is that remember, anything less than 0.03 will not be funded. It will accumulate in your back office until it reaches 0.03, and then it will automatically deposit into your blockchain wallet. And so that might be every day. It might be every other day. It might be once a week. It just depends on the plan that you have. So please don't call your sponsor and say, I'm not getting paid, I'm not getting paid. And every time I've done this, I just simply have them go into their statement, and I said, let me show you, and I can promise you that it's going to be less than 0.03 every time. And I've been 100% correct on this one, okay? If it doesn't pay, if you're not getting paid, it just simply means you haven't hit the threshold of 0.03. The money is there, it's in your back office, you just haven't seen it yet be deposited into your blockchain wallet. Very, very, very important. The next one you see is Bitcoin wallet, and that's going to be the wallet address of your choice. That's going to go into either your blockchain or your Bitcoin wallet, which is outside the system. So make sure that you have entered that address, double and triple check it. And then all you have to do is just click on it, and then as soon as you log into your back office, you'll be able to see that anytime. Once you have put in your wallet address, in order to change it, you will have to use the security code of the two-step authentication. Upgrade my plan is pretty simple. That's where if you want to go from Spartacus 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, etc., you only pay the difference. And it's very, very simple to do. Just click on that link and pick the plan that you want to upgrade to, and just hold your phone up to the screen, and within just seconds, it's already done. Now, it's going to take about 10 minutes to verify, so don't get rattled when you go, you know, it's still showing me as Gladiator as Spartacus 4 instead of 5. What I always check before I log in, and hopefully you'll follow suit here, is I always check my blockchain wallet to see if it's gone from pending to verified. Once I know in my blockchain wallet that that particular purchase on my upgrade has been verified, then I know without a doubt that Gladiacoin has got the money, and at that point I log in, and 99 times out of 100, there it is. So rather than trying to log in and getting a little bit anxious, always look for the results first in your blockchain wallet anytime you do an upgrade. I'm just trying to save you some aggravation, because you're going to be getting these calls every single day. And so if people understand this platform, then you're not going to get these kinds of questions. You're going to get the questions that really matter, and that is, hey, I've got somebody that wants to, start at Spartacus 5 or 7, and they want to open up multiple accounts. Those are the questions that we really like to take, for people. This little bit of detail, I'm trying to arm you with some ammunition so you really know what to say to them, okay? And then if you go to my account, which is on the last screen there to the right, this is where you have the default leg, and that's where you can change it to left, to right, or lower. And always make sure when you change the default leg, if you're going from left to right, wait for the little message to come up to say that it's to the right. And then before you log out, go to your dashboard, and it's going to tell you what your default leg is. Just make sure it matches before you log out, because there are people that didn't wait, and they logged out too soon before the message came up, and they went to put somebody in, and guess what? They went into the wrong leg. And once that happens, there's absolutely nothing we can do. So I'm just trying to help you minimize the mistake, okay? That's why I always try to get people to start small on their initial entry in case they make a mistake. Then it's Spartacus 1, it's not Spartacus 7. Does that make sense? So if they do make a mistake with placement or whatever, it's not a lost cause going, oh man, I made a big mistake. It'd be really big if it was on a Spartacus 7 with 4 Bitcoin, but it's not that big a mistake if it's on Spartacus 1. So start small, and then you can always upgrade. It doesn't cost you anything else, okay? You're not paying any additional fees to upgrade. So start small, get everything in place correctly before you upgrade, and then it's smooth sailing. For those of you that speak Spanish or Portuguese, you can change the language there. That's pretty self-explanatory. And the next two is where you change the email and the password. And if you change the email and the password, you must enter the 6-digit authentication code. So just make sure that you have your smartphone handy with your Authenticator app open, so if you make those changes that you can implement it right away.
Hey,
okay.
Rick, we have a couple questions that you could answer right now in regards to the upgrade. The first one is, do you have to double first before you can upgrade?
No, not at all. No, you can start right now and upgrade 5 minutes from now. There's no limit on that. And it doesn't matter what plan that you're at. As long as you decide that you want to upgrade, you can do it immediately.
Okay, another question is, when you renew after the contract ends, do you have to renew at the same Spartacus package, or can you upgrade or downgrade?
You can't downgrade. If you're going to renew your package, this is a really good question. I'm glad somebody asked this. If you renew your package, you have to at least start at the package you left off. So if you had Spartacus 5, for example, and you renewed, you've got to start at least at Spartacus 5. You can't start any less than that. You can start for more than that. In fact, if you want to increase your percentage on the bar, I highly recommend you do that. Let me share this strategy for you. I love this question. Let me go back to this for a second. Okay, do you see here that that the screen says that on the progress bar I'm at 98.73%? Can you see that, Mike?
Yes.
Okay, let's pretend instead of at Spartacus 7, let's pretend for this illustration that I was at Spartacus 6, okay, which means I had 2 Bitcoin. Does that make sense?
That
Mike?
makes sense.
Okay. Okay, so forget about the maximum Bitcoin. Here's what's going to happen. If I'm at Okay, let's say I'm at Spartacus 6 and I'm at 98.73%, and that's for 2 Bitcoin, right? So here's the thing. Instead of waiting it to go to 100% to resume my same package at Spartacus 2, what I could do instead is I could upgrade to Spartacus 7 for the same coin, right? Which is 2 Bitcoin. But what's going to happen is it's going to drop my progress bar from 98% down to 50% immediately. Because remember, I've already been paid, the 4 Bitcoin, that's at Spartacus 6. And if I was to renew and do an additional 2, which is an upgrade, I'm actually going from Spartacus 6 to Spartacus 7, and Spartacus 7 is 4 Bitcoin. It's going to pay me 8. So what I'm able to do effectively there is to lower that bar down to 50%, but guess what? I was able to upgrade to Spartacus 7, which I'm using the same money, and instead of getting 2.2% on 2 Bitcoin, and instead of earning 13% on my binary commission, I'm at 15% on my binary commission and 2.2% on 4 Bitcoin instead of 2. It's huge, okay? So, but the thing is, now you've only got basically 45 days before that contract is going to renew. But the thing is, you're doing much better, and with the increase in the percentage on the binary, it's going to have a huge difference on the amount of Bitcoin that you get paid on that bonus. Did you get that, Mike, or was that a little too confusing?
That wasn't confusing for me, and I think everyone else got it as well. Okay.
Well, that's good, because you could even do that from Spartacus 1, for example, where you're going from 1 Bitcoin to 2. You're at 98%. Instead of just waiting for it to renew for 1 Bitcoin, why don't you just do it, right there? Upgrade from 5 to 6 is what? 1 Bitcoin. And when you upgrade, that percentage goes down to 50% immediately, because the fact now it's waiting to pay out 4 Bitcoin instead of 2. So, I thought that was really cool. So instead of just keeping your existing contract, the goal is to get to Spartacus 7, and that's a way to do it is to upgrade instead of just renew your contract. And it lowers this bar from 100 down to 50. But now that I'm at Spartacus 7, that wouldn't go into play. But at any rate, all right. This is really important. This is your dashboard. And let me tell you what a good question is. A good question is one that I know somebody has gone through the website and they have a question based on the fact that they have gone through all the content that you see here, and they have a question about, whatever. And I always love the ones that come through when they say, I haven't been paid. And it's because they don't understand about the 0.3. And guess what? Instead of you becoming Mr. and Mrs. Google to everybody, because people, they get lazy and they'd rather just call you up on the phone instead of trying to dig out the information themselves. So I'm going to kind of like be very direct with people. We're in this thing to be business people and to build a business. We're not here to be Mr. Google or Mrs. Google. If you don't take the time to go into the dashboard and read the useful information, which is essentially the Q&A, right there, 90% of the questions are going to be answered if you just take the time to read that. And it's so simple. Look at that. About the trader bonus, about the binary bonus, about the value and of withdrawals and the processing, about the system maintenance. What happens when you double your coin? Can I change my plan? Everything that you really need to make an informed decision is right there in front of you. And yet a lot of people, they don't even open up their dashboard to even go look at this information, okay? So please, when you jump off this call today, just kind of take ownership for your business and go use some of the tools that are here. And Mike, because it's a training instead of a presentation, I feel like in a sense that maybe I can be a little bit more direct with people because I'm just trying to show them the ins and outs so their business can grow faster, not slower. Okay.
Correct. Now, Rick, some people, they want to hear this again. They're asking me, where will the recording be available on BitcoinBillions.com? Where are you going to have it?
You'll have to find it.
That's what I thought, right? That's what I think. I've done it times I got it.
It's going to be in the same section where you get the webinars. It's going to be password protected, but I'm going to create a new page, and it'll say, webinar archives, and this will be the first archive that's available. I'll put a date on it, and so it'll be very, very simple to find. And I mean, I really appreciate that you can see the value instead of you trying to share this information with each person. Isn't it great that we can just go to the website and just watch a video and they can watch it over and over and over again? So somebody says, well, tell me how I do the two-step. You don't go, okay, here, let's get on the computer and let me walk you through this for 20 minutes when you could have been on the phone with somebody building your business, and instead you just send them to the website and let them watch a video. That's what tools are designed to do. So I'm going to get this up as quickly as possible because I share this information with people every single day. So I wanted to have some way that I could just try to teach. And if you notice, none of my information is on here. I blacked out everything. So you don't have to worry about somebody trying to do an end run or anything like this. I'm Switzerland. I am totally neutral, and this is for your benefit, okay? You win, I win. When you go into purchase plans, remember when I was showing you this right here? If you go into financial, under purchased plans, this is what's going to pop up. It's going to have all your purchases, and you can see when I tell people how I started, Spartacus 1, and then upgraded right away to Spartacus 5, and then there's another upgrade, and then from 6 to 7, then look, there's my reactivation of Spartacus 7. Every time I have made a purchase, there is a record or transparency of that purchase, and the same thing is there for you. Just know where to find the information, that's all. So take some time to just start clicking around and really learn, the system. It's very simple to navigate, really simple. So then you got a serious person there when they've taken the time to really go through everything. All right. One of the things that I really like to do is I like to get my Bitcoin out and I like to spend it. I like to convert it into cash. So I wanted to save one slide for you so you could actually see how this works. And I use a couple of different services. You can see there at the bottom there, I'm using coins. Actually, it's not coins.ph. It's coins.co.th. It's an exchange here locally in Thailand. It's a really, really good service. I mean, from the time I made a request today, the money was in my account in about 35 minutes. It's so fast. I mean, I was so happy. At any rate, all you have to do in order to sell your Bitcoin, first of all, you just need to open up an exchange, and I'll do a training on that, but it's very simple. Find an exchange in your area or use localbitcoins.com. That's another one as an exchange, and you set up an account. It's very easy. Just upload a government ID. Some require proof of address, some don't. Proof of email, proof of mobile phone. Every exchange kind of has their parameters, and it just depends on the limits of Bitcoin that you want to buy and sell. If you only want to do 1 to 3 Bitcoin per day, I think all you need is a pulse. That's it. If you want to do 10 Bitcoin a day, like I'm set up to do with this one account, then I had to have a government ID, proof of address, and proof of email and phone number. Okay, but that's because I wanted to do in a higher quantity. So when it was time to sell some Bitcoin, all I did is I transferred the Bitcoin that I wanted to sell from my blockchain wallet. Remember, your blockchain wallet just simply holds your Bitcoin. So it's how you can transfer it out if you're making a purchase, and it's also how you can get Bitcoin back in. So all I did is I just basically transferred the equivalent of 1 Bitcoin from my wallet into coins.co.th, which is an account that I have. So basically it went from my wallet with one to my wallet with another, and all I did is I held my phone up to that QR code and scanned it, and it happened very, very quickly. Oh, there it is. I mean, I have it right there, coins.co.th. It's right in front of me, Mike. You should tell me that. Okay. Hold on.
I'm answering chats and stuff. I'm sorry, buddy.
Okay, no worries. Do I have? I'm through my slides already. Okay. All right. Let's take a few questions if we may. Mike, go ahead.
Okay. One of them here is in regards to once it hits 100%, you have 24 hours like to renew it, and we know you can't put it on auto. I think everyone knows that. It has to be manually done. What if there's an emergency, family, you're on a plane, you can't do it? That was a question.
We sometimes get these doomsday scenarios. I can only tell you what my situation is. If I know that I got 4 Bitcoin coming, let me tell you what the emergency is. There is no emergency other than logging in to make sure I get that done. And I mean, you see how long it takes? Make new purchase, click on this, and it's done. I mean, it takes me 1 minute. There's got to be a way that you can find 1 minute in order to do this. And if not, you're going to be in a position very soon that you can hire somebody to do it for you. Okay? I mean, you've got 24 hours. I know that you could be in a plane. I know that you could be in a mountain. You could be in a cave. You could be in a submarine. I realize all this. But you've got friends and you've got relatives that can look after this for you on your behalf. The only thing is, how would they get into the account? Because they need to have the authenticator. The only thing that I would think of in that case is that you would give your cell phone to somebody while you're away in order that they could scan and get the code there for you. But Mike, other than that, I really don't know what to tell people other than you don't want to miss this.
Right, exactly.
What would you do, Mike?
Nothing else. I mean, yeah, if there's an emergency, I'm making sure I'm taking care of business during the emergency. I mean,
Yep.
I've been through many of them. Yeah, so.
No, I know. I mean, there really is enough time. Now, listen, this is a very proactive company, and remember, they only launched in December, so that's what, 5 months, I believe, Mike. Is it 5?
Yeah.
Okay. And I know that there's going to be more improvements, but I mean, based on what they have, the platform is amazing. I would love to see them with the ability to do the automatic renewal. But here's the challenge that you face. The challenge is, remember, all the money that's above 0.03 is going directly into your blockchain wallet. It's not being held in the back office. Okay? The only thing that I can think of is that we could check a button saying that, we want to, keep a reserve of 4 Bitcoin, somewhere in our back office that we can use as a backup in the event of that 24-hour period. The company would have a way of being able to pull that directly from your account that is online. It's not in your blockchain wallet. I hope that happens one day, but that one day isn't here yet. So until that happens, we're just going to have to do this manually, and hopefully it won't be a sore spot.
Exactly. Here's another question. What's a good strategy as to how much to take out and spend versus leave in and reinvest?
Oh, great question. I love this question. Who asked that, by the way?
That was asked by Pete.
Okay, these are questions that I absolutely adore. Okay, so thank you for this one. Okay, there's 2 ways that you can approach this. Here's what I do. You don't have to do this, but it's become like a mental exercise for me, because I was facing this same challenge. It's like, how do I basically take some money out and make sure that I've always got enough in there that I can renew my contract? Because the last thing that you want to do, if you talk about an emergency, how about you get down to 24 hours and you need 4 Bitcoin, you've only got 3. That's an emergency. Okay, so here's what I do. I spend 50% of what I take in. That's what I allocate for myself. And what I do is, because I have an exchange account set up, whatever Bitcoin that I receive with respect that comes into my wallet, I take half of that and I forward it directly into the account that I have set up with my exchange. That's my money. That's what I can actually take to the bank and get cash out, which takes 35 minutes. So if you're receiving, for example, let's say that you're at Spartacus 7, pardon me, with 4 Bitcoin, you know that you're going to get approximately $100 per day in Bitcoin. And so if you want to, just set aside 50 per day, that is your money that you can spend. And if it's per account, if you got 3 accounts, that's 150. If you got 7 accounts, that's 350. That is your money. And the rest of that you leave in the wallet so that you always know that you have enough when it comes to the end of the 90 days or sooner, that you've got the Bitcoin in your wallet in order to pay for the renewal. Another way that you could do it is pay attention to the progress bar. You could spend 100% of everything that comes in, up to 50% what you see on the progress bar. And at that point, you can't take any more Bitcoin out and spend it. You just need to let it sit there in your wallet until it's time to renew. I like getting money every day, but that's me. I'm more disciplined that way than trying to take 100% out until, for 45 days, and then I can't take anything out for the next 45 days. I feel like I'm on a money diet or Bitcoin diet, So that's one way to look at it. Either take out 50% per day, or take out 100% until your progress bar reaches 50%, and then let it ride. Mike, what are you doing?
I'm actually doing the same thing you're doing, and we haven't even talked about it.
What's that? 50% a day?
50%, yep.
Okay, all right. Good deal.
Yes, sir. Okay, another question here from Canvas. I show withdrawals, but they did not arrive into my wallet, which they used to. Same wallet address. How can I address this?
I'm thinking. I would check a couple places in the back office. I would look at purchase plans. The second thing that I would look at is, based on the plan, can you find out like what package that she purchased, Mike?
Yeah, she'll answer that right now. She heard you.
Oh, that's right. I forget. Everybody can hear me. Brain freeze. Has she typed it in yet? Just do SP1 through SP7.
Not yet.
I never do this part. I always do SP.
SP3.
Okay, SP3. Okay, Mike, based on the plan, what is SP3? How much Bitcoin?
On a 3.
It's 0.03, right?
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so 0.03 per day. Okay, so what you would need to do is you take 0.03 times 2.2%, and that's going to give you the value. And then what you need to do is multiply that out until you get up to 0.03 to see how many days it's going to take in between that transfer. What I would really like to see is her statement. And on the statement, did I show a statement here? No, shoot, I didn't put a statement in there. I just showed people where it was. On the statement, it's going to show out when it was paid, and I bet that what it's going to show consistently is going to be the days of those payments when they came in. I would be really surprised if she wasn't getting paid. It would be the first time that I've actually heard of somebody not getting a withdrawal. What can you add to that, Mike?
Well, and she said, she also said, I had 3 withdrawals done since April 12th, but they did not get into my wallet. And that's because they didn't reach the proper amount, obviously.
Yeah, that's going to be it. I did this for another guy. He had 0.003, and he was upset that he didn't get paid. And I said, it's not 0.00, it's 0.03. And then he looked at that again. And he goes, oh my gosh! And guess what? The next day he got funded, and he was like a completely different person. I don't have my phone in front of me. Who's got a calculator there? Can you do 0.03 times 2.2%, Mike, and tell me what that adds up to?
Sure can. Well, let me find it. Point what?
0.03 times 2.2%. I know we got a math guy out there. He probably didn't even need a calculator. He's got it in his head.
Yeah, that's 0.00066.
.0066. Is that correct?
0.00066.
Oh, there's 3 zeros behind that?
Yes.
Okay, so let's figure out what that is then. If we've got 103 divided by
It's 11 o'clock.
.00006. Okay, I believe that she's not going to get a payout for approximately once every 5 days.
Yep, that's about right. Yep.
Okay, so once every 5 days, you should be seeing the trading bonus come into your account. Now, if she's got 3 accounts, let me tell you something that you could have done to maybe accelerate this a little faster. Is that what you could have done? Is that you could have put a little bit more coin in your starting position, number 1, and a little less coin in the 2 and 3 accounts, so that you can actually get the trading bonus paid out sooner than every 5 days.
Yeah. Yeah, she's saying now, no, it was 0.03, then 0.06, and then 0.03.
Yeah, I would just, if you can get her email address, and if she can send me a snapshot of her statement, I can figure it out in a millisecond. Can you have her do that for me?
Yeah, send that in question, the Q&A, and send it to us, not to everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, should be.
Okay. All right, give me another question. We're running out of time.
Right. I have a Spartacus 4 on the top.
Yes.
Next level, I have Spartacus 5 on each side. One leg is longer. What side would be more beneficial to upgrade first?
Okay, now is the only position that he's building is his first position at SP4, correct?
That's what he should be doing. But here's the question: is next level I have a Spartacus 5 on each side. One leg is longer. Which side would be more beneficial to upgrade first? I don't think that has anything to do with building. I mean, I would upgrade all of them to 4 as soon as you can.
Well, actually, here's the thing. You always want to focus on building one position.
Correct.
Okay? Only one position to begin with until you hit 8 Bitcoin per day. Actually, probably till you hit about 6 Bitcoin per day, because then the momentum of your volume in the organization is going to push that over to 8 very quickly. What I would do, if this was me and I'm looking at your scenario, I've got SP4 at the top, SP5 to the left, and then SP5 to the right. I would upgrade your number 1 position to SP7 like ASAP. I mean, I wouldn't even hesitate, because let me tell you why. Mike, what is the binary commission rate at SP4?
4. Let's see, what is that? 11?
It's either 9 or 11.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Nine. It's either 9 or 11%. And let me tell you something. By upgrading to SP7, it immediately, the day you do it, it's at 15%. That's a huge increase. And look what happens to your daily trading bonus. It goes up substantially. You're getting 2.2% on 4 Bitcoin per day instead of, what is that, a half a Bitcoin, Mike?
Yep.
0.5?
0.5, yeah.
And I'd really like to know, I'd be questioning him as to why he put so much coin in his outside legs. But, you know, listen, I mean, it's not a bad thing. I'm just curious as to why he set it up that way, instead of putting SP7 at the top and a little less coin on the left and the right, because the 2 accounts that you have underneath yourself, is this a sir or a ma'am? Is this, I don't want to address him properly, Mike.
I don't know now. It's gone.
Okay. They're gone. All right. Well, I'll keep going. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter like which leg is longer or which leg is shorter. What matters is the position in which you're collecting your commissions on, which in this case is going to be your number 1 position. Get that up to Spartacus 7 as quickly as possible, so you're maximizing. You're not leaving any money on the table with your binary bonus or your daily trading bonus. And the thing is that both accounts on the one on your left and the one on the right are collecting 100% of the volume through the entire organization. It hasn't qualified yet because you still need to enroll 1 left, 1 right on each one of those 2 spots. But the thing is that once you've maxed out position number 1, let's say you start with the next position And I always look at volume. Which leg has the most volume in it? That's going to be my second position that I want to open next. And all I do is I just either default the leg to the left or to the right. I just build one team. And then, of course, I want to get that position up to Spartacus 7 as quickly as possible, so I'm not leaving any money on the table. Max that one out, and then jump over to my third position there, open up a left leg or a right leg, and build out one team and do it all over again. So now I got 3 accounts, Spartacus 7 at 8 Bitcoin per day each. And that's a good day. 1 or 2 more questions, Mike.
Okay, let's see where we go here. Can more than one phone be used for the 2-step authenticator, like for a husband and wife?
No, you can't. I was just thinking about this because, I'm in the same situation. My wife has her account on her phone, and I have my accounts on my phone. Of course, she's got access to my phone all the time. She's even got her thumbprint on there, so she doesn't even need to use the code. But no, you can't. If you wanted to, you could put all accounts on one phone, but you can't split them up. You can't have the same code in 2 phones, at least not to my knowledge. Because when you scan that QR code to set up the 2-step initially, it's going to be in the authenticator in which you initiated that 2-step. So if it's in your phone, it's going to be in your phone. I'm in a situation where I need to transfer a 2-step verification. I don't know how to deactivate it. I don't know how to give it away to somebody else. So at least to my knowledge, no, it's only 1 per phone.
That's to my knowledge as well.
But listen, even if you have 7 accounts, you can have all 7 accounts on one phone. And then, if your wife, out of the 7 accounts, maybe she has 3, do the 3 accounts on her phone and then 4 on yours. You can break it up any way you want to. But, here's the thing that to take into consideration is that, if you have the access code for somebody, it could be your spouse or significant other, and, they need to get into your account for whatever reason, maybe to upgrade. All you got to do is log into your authenticator and just give them the code that pops up once you log in. And they could be on the computer in San Diego, and you could be on your phone in Hong Kong. Remember, where you need that 24 hours? Well, as long as you got access to your authenticator, you can give the code to somebody who's sitting in front of the computer to go do the upgrade for you.
Correct. In regards, Rick, to the gal we were talking with, with her coins that she didn't find them in her wallet and stuff. Well, she just said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I went to my other BTC wallet, and there it was. Thanks for your help."
I love it, and I'm really glad that that you took the initiative to go open up the other wallet. And thanks for sharing that. That just kind of like puts the icing on the cake there, because I just haven't found where somebody has yet to get paid that deserved to get paid. I haven't found it yet, so it's all good. Any other questions?
Here's one of the last ones here, and this is one we've been talking about earlier. But it says, how do you remove an authentication in case you need to replace a phone, delete, or redo, on a new phone?
Here's the best thing to do. And I don't know if you have Android, I don't know if you have Apple, and this is really not my area of expertise. So here's what I do. If I have a challenge with anything, I go to YouTube, and I always find the answer. If somebody loses their phone, and actually I was reading about this today. It's funny you asked. I'm not going to get into all the details of that because I'll put everybody to sleep and they won't come back to my call on Monday. But I was actually watching a video on, if you've lost your phone, there's a way to get the authenticator back with all your accounts on it. So all that information is really on YouTube. Besides the cat videos. And listen, let me give you a few tidbits here. Number one, go to Kindle if you've got Kindle, or go to Amazon. Start getting some books on Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. Start to really learn about the space that you're in, to where you become just a little bit knowledgeable for yourself. When I first got started in the industry a long time ago, one guy broke down the word enthusiasm for me, and I've never forgotten it because I like simplicity, and it was something that just stuck with me pretty much my whole business career. He said, if you look at the word enthusiasm, the last 4 letters are IASM. He goes, you know what that stands for? And I said, no. He goes, I am sold myself. And I thought, wow, that was really something. You see, I am completely sold on the platform of Gladiacoin. I'm completely sold on this currency, this wonderful currency called Bitcoin. And the more that you learn about it, it's like the more that you want to share it with people. Whether they get into Gladiacoin, it doesn't matter. What does matter is they start to get this currency in their wallet, because everybody is predicting that this coin is going to go to 4,000 within the next 12 months. And the people that are really knowledgeable say that by the year 2030, and I can quote several people who say this, it's going to be worth $500,000 per Bitcoin. So the thing is that do you want to have a little, or do you want to have a lot? Well, if you want to have a lot, go buy it on your own. If you want to have a little, if you want to have a lot, then this is the platform that you can do that with. So if we get the word out and quit trying to sell people on this, this is not an MLM program. It's an affiliate program. It's just got a referral. It's got a referral bonus built on there if you decide that you want to share the information with people. So don't make this hard on yourself. You know, have some fun with it. Relax and just say, hey, look, I'm going to show you how to double your Bitcoin. Just go watch a video on bitcoinbillions.com and tell me what you think. Get back with them, do some follow-up, and then just kind of take them to the next step. Get them on a webinar. Hey, do you understand about Bitcoin? No, I don't understand anything about Bitcoin. Okay, great. Go to the website of Bitcoin Billions, and there's a link there that says New to Bitcoin. Look at this short video. It's 5 minutes. It's an animated video that talks exactly how it works. And beneath that is one of the most powerful videos that you'll hear about the strength of this blockchain technology and Bitcoin through Andreas Antonopoulos. And I'd recommend that you go to Kindle and get both of his books, and get the one from Satoshi Nakamoto. It gets technical, but it opens your eyes to the genius behind this incredible platform, okay? This is the currency of the future now. And with that, Mike, I just want to say thanks so much, everybody, for joining me today. And we really appreciate your questions and your feedback. Let's go find some folks and bring them to the webinar on Monday night at 9 p.m. It is 9 p.m. Eastern time, right, Mike?
That is correct, sir.
Okay, that is Monday through Thursday, and then we'll do another training. I'll put together a nice format for the next training for next Saturday. Go enjoy your day with your family. Thank you again, Mike, for being just a gracious and wonderful host. And I couldn't have done this call without you. Appreciate you, bud.
Thank you, buddy. I'll talk to you in a while.
Okay.